What is going on, everybody? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kieran. I am back from a long-awaited journey. I fucked up that sentence, but I did come back just recently from a little bit of a vacation. So, first and foremost, I'm available to do readings again. So, if you've been missing my sarcasm and vast insight into chocolate and sexual innuendo, then I'm back and I can do readings. So, that's all good, all fun. So, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to be doing a tarot reading, obviously, but I'm going to be doing a twin flame general reading, so that's going to be energies for both parties. Going to be, of course, the headspace, heart space, and then the outcome for the collective, right? The general collective, that is, anyway. All right. So hopefully you guys are all still doing well, and here I am, still alive. All right. So haven't died yet. So shit, right? Still paying taxes. All right, guys, let's get started. So first and foremost, let's just get into the divine masculine energy first. Take a look at what they are experiencing this week, basically for the rest of the month, right? Because I think there's only about 9 or 10 days left of this month, so it is going to be essentially for the rest of January. Okay. So I'm pretty excited to get into it, pretty excited to start doing a lot of different kinds of videos. I learned a lot on my little sabbatical, a lot of lessons about people, about situations, and definitely about myself. So it's going to be really good. And so hopefully some of that insight will be carried over. So let us get started, alright? So let me find out what's going on with the masculines. We will pull some energy cards. So what is going on with the masculines this week? What is going on with their energy? What are they going to be experiencing? Let me take a look. So, the first card that I have is the Queen of Cups. Now, obviously, kings and queens don't have to do with the genitalia between your leg, but as a queen, sort of feminine energy, we're already getting into a more emotional time for the masculines, a time where they feel that they have a lot to offer emotionally to people. This Queen of Cups is very abundant, as you can see by whatever the hell is going on beneath this crow. And I hope the lighting is okay. Not too sure if it is. Please let me know in the comments. I'm sort of traveling around right now, so don't really have a space set up. So hopefully you guys can see. But yeah, Queen of Cups, right? Very emotional, very stable, very intuitive, right? Divine masculines becoming into this, becoming more secure with their emotions, if that makes sense, because in any journey, any spiritual journey, people, of course, when you go through a spiritual awakening, there's an emotional instability as a lot of things come up to the surface and have to be dealt with. A lot of karma, stuff like that from past life, current life, a lot of triggering stuff like that. So Queen of Cups is very strong, just like the King of Cups. So they're definitely in this energy where they are becoming more in tune with their emotions, with their intuition, feeling like they are a little bit more able to receive. We have the Six of Cups, so this actually makes a lot of sense because now with the feminine energy that they're in, with this more emotional stability, with this more intuitive side of them, this feminine side, it makes sense why they'd be reminiscent about the past, right? It makes sense why they'd be thinking about you. It makes sense why there's a memory about you inside of them that they believe in. Whether or not this is an actual physical memory in this life that you guys have shared together, or it's something that you just remind them of that energy, that love, that purity, that childhood innocence. Because as kids, we weren't worried about paying taxes, about becoming famous or rich or financially secure. We just existed in the moment, and the simple things in life were beautiful to us. Like a cloudy sky was just as beautiful as a sunny day, right? It's that freeing kind of energy. It's nostalgic, right? So they're in this nostalgic energy. They're thinking about love again, which is really awesome. And you can't think about love unless you're open to love. I mean, at least not healthily, right? Healthily, is that a word? I don't know. You'll have to get me on that one. But you know, when you're unstable emotionally, of course, you can still want love, but you'll often receive it in ways that you perceive to be negative because they're not authentic anymore. But the Queen of Cups is a very authentic type of energy. So the Six of Cups is saying that the masculines are actually ready. They're ready to take love seriously. They're ready to start something. They're ready to begin something, to start something from the past, to begin or go back to an emotion that once did exist within the past. And that's why we have the Judgment card right here. Just came out. Judgment card's all about decisions. Judgment card is like being at a crossroads, right? It's about kind of deciding what you want to do. It has a sort of biblical tone to it, but the idea of judgment is, of course, to make a decision, right? Like that idea of God making a decision for the collective of the entire race of humanity, right? Or whatever that Bible shit was spitting. So it's about decisions. It's about making things about the past. It's about deciding what you want to do, deciding how you want to go about doing it. So the masculines are making decisions. They're at a crossroads, letting go of things that are no longer serving them, whether or not that's relationships, jobs, anything like that. They're getting to this point. And, again, the decisions that they're making in their own life, you might not necessarily see that in the physical, meaning that, if they end a karmic relationship, you might not know for a month, you might not know for 2 weeks, but it also doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to come back to you right away. But the idea is they're making this decision. They're getting into this energy by the end of this January month, where it's like the past no longer matters. All that they can do is go forward. There is no going backwards anymore. And that's that energy that people are getting into, which is really great. Because you like to see that in any individual, regardless of the twin flame connection or not, right? And because they are making a decision, because they've chosen to go forward, you have the Strength card, and that speaks a lot to inner courage, inner strength, of course, but also the ability to have some grace about your situation, your surroundings, right? The Strength card always, I think, relates to gratefulness. When you're grateful about something, it's the only thing that really truly can't be taken away from you. The more meaning you give to things, the more potential there is for them to be taken away, which means the more potential there is for pain. But when you don't give so much meaning to things, and when you're grateful for what you have, you'll see that the universe will give you anything that you wanted in the first place, and it'll just come inside your life in a very smooth way. And when you're grateful, you have grace, and when you're grace, you're grateful, okay? And it's just this very strong energy about being powerful and standing up and overcoming any obstacles, about moving forward in your life, okay? Something that I can definitely relate to, and I'm sure that many of you can if you've ever been in a sort of precarious situation in your life where you weren't sure if you could move forward. I'm sure a lot of you have kids, a lot of you have moved, a lot of you have changed careers, and I'm sure if you can remember at one point when you started that, you probably were very, very scared, and yet look how far you've come. I know a lot of you guys have your own businesses and stuff like that, and and you guys are even going farther than that, starting something new. So you can sort of relate to that energy about what it means to be strong, what it means to move forward in life, which is awesome and very, very positive. So with the Page of Swords now coming out, we now have a mental energy of clarity and truth, right? Now the Page of Swords isn't like a Knight of Swords, so it's not as fast, but it is still fast. Still quite fast would have been a less autistic way of saying it. But Page of Swords, right? Definitely about this idea of moving forward with truth, moving forward with clarity. Again, leaving the past behind, going forward quickly, and definitely understanding the situations of life. So their mental space is clear now, especially because they're coming after that decision. They make that decision, they have strength in that decision. There's a power in committing to a mistake or committing to the potential of a mistake when you take a risk in life. I'm moving, at least temporarily, back to my home country of Canada, and I have not lived there in a long time. Lived in California, but everything there wasn't serving for me, and so with this Page of Swords, it makes a lot of sense where I'm going towards, right? There's a mental clarity now, right? And that's the type of energy the masculine are in. There's a lot of power to that in moving forward and being able to see things for what they are, because that means that you can be receptive to things now. You can allow opportunities to come in, which is super positive. So altogether, the masculines are very much thinking about love. They've got this love on their mind. They're ready for love. They are in control of their emotions, or at least more in control. They're making decisions. They're making important decisions, right? This isn't decisions about whether or not they should buy Chips Ahoy or Oreos. And if you're wondering, obviously you get Oreos. But it's a decision about making profound life choices that will affect your future for years to come. And this is the strength that they're going to have to do it. And it's going to lead to clarity. It's going to lead to peace. It's going to lead to some sort of balance within their mind state, which is really an important thing to have, okay? So let me now get into the feminine energy, okay? We'll see what kind of mirroring that is like if you guys are in a positive space with them, right? So what is going to be happening with the feminines energetically over these last couple weeks, of January, week and a half, week and a little bit, whatever. All right, let's take a look. What's going on with the feminines? right, so feminines, we have the Five of Swords. Okay, so mental conflict and defeat, right? Trying period, something that you've been through. It's an energy of a thought, right? So underneath the Queen of Cups, maybe you feminines out there are in this energy where you feel like you've sort of suffered a defeat. But it's not like a totally negative defeat, because you in this reading is the crow walking away. You've got the swords, so you've still got some defense, you've still got something, but there's been some shit that's happened. So you guys are moving forward, you're walking away from things, right? Which is really positive. It seems really negative. You might be feeling sort of defeated right now, and that could just be energetically. It doesn't have to be a very specific event. It could be that you're feeling drained, a little bit groggy, headaches, stuff like that, feeling like there's some sort of imbalance almost, maybe in your brain and your mental energy, foggy again. Maybe you're waking up a little bit later than usual. Maybe you're sleeping more. But it's when you're in this Five of Swords kind of energy, it's usually a good sign to sort of find some relaxation, because before you want to move forward with that energy, you want to take care of it. You want to be able to really clear your mental space away, which I think is that it's funny that it starts with or ends with the Page of Swords for the masculines and starts with the Five of Swords for you. But the good news is we have the World after that, and it's funny that it's below the Six of Cups, which is, of course, about this returning of a love reconciliation in some time, for some people, of course. But the World is a completion of cycle, things coming, destiny. So, it's sort of about destiny. Wheel of Fortune is more about destiny, but the World is about a major completion of a cycle, or something about to begin, something to start. The World is always a welcome card, like a free month of Netflix. Who couldn't turn that down, right? Absolutely, it's a great card for the feminines, because it shows that a lot of your projects that you've been wanting to move forward with are going to take shape, because your energy is going to it's going to rebalance itself. There's going to be a rebalancing in your relationship, in your life, right? And when there's a rebalance in your own energy, there's a rebalance in the connection. So the more that you've been focusing on yourself, the more that you've gone along on this journey, the more lessons you've learned, the more closer you get to some sort of stage in your life. Now, time isn't linear, but you can think about your life in this earth, this incarnation, as a sort of timeline, and you're about to end a current phase that no longer serves you, and now you're moving back in with this World card. Something new is about to begin, and that's going to be really positive. So you guys are going to be feeling better if you have been feeling a little bit worn down lately. January was a bumpy month. Okay, it was rough, coarse, sort of like crabs, I imagine. I don't know, not speaking from experience, but very just sort of itchy month. You know what I mean? It felt like there was just something uncomfortable, and it was just like you couldn't really relax, right? It was a hard month to relax in. And yet you're going to be able to do this, because winter is getting closer to ending. I don't know, it depends on the country, I suppose, you live in, or the place that you live in, but spring is essentially right around the corner. We're getting into that March energy, so we only really have one more month of what you would consider winter. So there is this completion coming for you guys. What's great about that is we have the Fool, which is underneath their decision energy. So the Fool is a new beginning, probably a new beginning in love, but it doesn't have to be. It's a new beginning in all areas of your life. You are starting something new. Again, I've talked about moving back to Canada, to Toronto, major city in Canada, probably economically the most important, I would argue. And so a lot of opportunities for me, so I can understand the Fool energy as well, right? Talking about taking a leap of faith, taking a risk, but ultimately packing light. I've basically, everything that I have in my life is in a suitcase and a backpack, and I'm ready to go. So, and that's how it's interesting to me, because all of my heroes have done that, and I respect people who do that. And that's kind of what this energy is about. It's about moving forward, and whatever that means for you. It doesn't have to be something as dramatic as moving to another country and restarting your life and, accepting some sort of defeat about the past, but it could be something less dramatic, like you just wanting to do something new. Maybe it is something a little like, starting a new business. Maybe it's starting a new relationship. Maybe it's taking a chance on another relationship. Whatever it may be, it's an important time for you, because you are mirroring that decision making, right? As the masculine feels it's time to end old things, you feel it's time to begin new things, and that's matching itself up. We have the Magician card. That's a great card to have, because that's all about manifestations. It's about creating your desires, creating your destiny, rather than being an idle watcher of the world around you. right? Vegging out sort of thing. The magician takes action. It meets the universe halfway. People think that you do have to work very, very, very hard to get what you want and achieve in life. And it's not to say that that doesn't work. It obviously clearly works for people. But if you're not one of those people and you're a little bit more in tune with the secrets of your own soul, of the universe, of source or God, however you really choose to analyze the metaphor of the whole thing, you'll understand that you have to meet the universe halfway. If you want something to happen, well, you got to go meet the place that it needs to happen, right? It's like, again, where I was living, there was no opportunities, but I wanted to do a lot of shit. Now, you can create your own opportunities, but where can you create them? Where can you go? Where do you want to go? And that's what the magician's all about. It's about manifesting, using the energy of your own life to basically kind of say, all right, universe, we're getting there. We're going to do something together. Essentially saying out to your own reality, I'm gonna get X, I'm gonna get Y, I'm gonna get Z, whatever it is for you, and getting to that point, getting your desires, getting the things that you want to come true. The Magician is a really welcome card for entrepreneurs and money and business and stuff like that. But of course, it could have to do with love as well. It doesn't have to be so one-sided. And that's perfect because I was actually mentioning about money, and the card that came out is the Nine of Pentacles, which is about financial security. So it's like that risk that you guys take, it's going to lead to some sort of financial security. It's going to lead to an increase in your wealth and your security and your own, and you're going to become more positive as a result. This card is very, very positive. It's got the sun shining. Very beautiful card to get, especially to end an energy reading, because it does mean that you guys are going to be feeling all around better. As far as your health is concerned, this card is great news for health because it's just about being in a very high vibrational energy, okay? It's a really great card to get. So as an energy, again, you also have the butterfly, which is about transformation. So you guys are heading towards this sort of happier ending, right? Something beginning. There is something coming in, which is really great news for you guys, okay? So financially, if you guys have been struggling a little bit, again, because we start with that Five of Swords, you are coming into this pentacle energy by the end of it, taking this risk, whatever leap of faith it is for you. You are going to have maybe some obstacles, maybe some patience is required, but nothing that you can't overcome because you got the World and the Fool. You're in a great energy to do all this shit. And naturally, anything you want doesn't necessarily come too easy, you know what I mean? There is usually some amount of patience, but don't work too hard. Don't stress yourself over the details, okay? Because things are going to be working out just the way that you had and wanted and maybe envisioned, but sometimes you don't get to predict how, right? So, let's move on from the energy and let's do the head and the heart space for both of you guys, okay? So I'm going to start with the masculine. I'm going to do 3 cards for the head space and the heart space, okay? So what is going on with the masculine's headspace? What are they thinking about the feminine this time? What would they like to say, express? Let's take a look, right? Okay, so for first card that I have is Justice, bringing in balance, so they clearly would like to talk. Justice to me is always a communicative type of energy. It's about bringing balance into a situation that is obviously imbalanced. To have justice here suggests that there is something that needs to be said, that needs to be talked about, and so they are bringing in a sort of a balance into the life of the feminine, into their own life, into the feminine's life. They want to communicate, they want to talk, they want to discuss truth. You have a sword here, which of course indicates that mental energy of truth. So they do want to come in, they do want to tell their truth, they do want to speak about the things of the past, they do want to talk, right? Now we do have some Five of Wands energy, right? Which it has to do with combat, not physical combat obviously, but a sort of debates, right? Sort of arguing, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to argue with you guys, but that could be a result of it, right? I don't want to suggest that it's going to be very, very negative, or that the communication would be some sort of yelling or something like that. But it's a card about taking taking that risk and talking, right? Because in order to bring balance about something that's been imbalanced, there might be arguing, there might be debates, there might be communication that is a little bit more serious, right? It's about standing up for yourself as well to a degree. And you also have the Six of Swords, which is about moving away from negativity. It's about moving forward positively, crossing that ocean, crossing those waters, those rough waters, and getting to where you need to be mentally, right? So it's like, again, having that in their mental space is like they want to communicate with you, they want to talk, they want to bridge the gaps, they want to cross the seas, so to speak, maybe quite literally for some of you, and they want to bring in that balance, they want to bring in that truth, and they want to move away from the negativity that has haunted you guys like some sort of specter, right? They want to bring in a balance. Okay, so they have balance on their mind. That's the first and foremost what their priority is in restarting or rekindling this relationship, right? Because remember, they had the Six of Cups in their energy, so clearly they want a relationship, but in order to move forward, you guys need to move away from the past. And in order to move away from the past, a decision has to be made, which they have, and you guys need to discuss what has happened so that you both can move forward, right? And again, if you're already in a relationship or you're already, talking, stuff like that, it doesn't have to be so negative. It could just be mentally that they're maybe worried about some things that have to be talked about, worried about details, stuff like that. But ultimately, they want to move forward with this connection. They want to um, they want to bring in truth. They want to bring in clarity. They want to bring in things to your life that are important, right? They want to move forward with you, and maybe there is some debates, some talking, some communication that needs to happen in order for that to be. It doesn't have to be so negative, because having the Five of Wands between the Six of Swords, which is about getting into a more positive mental state, and the Justice card, which is about bringing balance in and having equilibrium, just sort of suggests that there might be more of talking rather than any angry yelling. But of course, it's a general reading. It's going to be different for all of you guys. So let me do their heart space now, how they're feeling about you. So how are the masculines feeling about their feminines at this time? Let's take a look. Okay, so we have the Ace of Pentacles, so they clearly see you as a new beginning, or around you, or there's something around the feminine that is now a new beginning for them. Maybe they've moved closer to you, maybe they're planning to move closer to you, either emotionally, physically, but the idea in their heart space is that there's a new beginning for you guys. There's a new opportunity, there's a new joint venture that both of you are taking that they would like to take with you inside of their heart space. So having that under the Justice card is very, very suggestive that this balance heavily involves some type of move, whether or not that's a communication, a text, an email, a fucking video of them masturbating, whatever it is that is resonant with you, and again, could be physical. It's a beginning that is happening. It's something that, a move that brings in balance, right? They are taking that move. They are going to take a specific action, which is going to bring balance into a connection, into the life of something that was imbalanced, okay? Okay, we have the Ace of Swords, two aces. I mean, that's crazy. That's literally a divine partnership. Having two aces in one little spread, that's pretty important. Ace of Pentacles is earthly, material. Ace of Swords, it's all about mental, truth, clarity. Again, they had the Page of Swords in their energy, right? So in their heart space, having a sword in the heart space it's not negative at all. It usually just means that they're very, very focused on truth right now, and having that underneath their Five of Wands as a sort of sword card, it's sort of saying like, in their heart space, their head space, they're worried about maybe some debates or there's some communication that needs to happen. But the Ace of Swords is saying this is all truth. This is all speaking honestly, and the more honestly you speak, the better things are. If people are afraid to speak their truth, they're afraid of hurting other people's feelings, they're afraid of being judged. But if you just speak honestly and don't worry about anything, and this is, I guess, a message to them, but also to you, then it'll be better in the long run for you. It's better to just clear away any bullshit. And the Ace of Swords is saying, inside their heart, they're having an epiphany about you. It's like any hidden feelings have suddenly been brought to the surface, and it's like, holy shit, like, this is my twin flame. This is the woman I love. Let me take an action towards her. I know what to do. I know what I should do. Oh, I got to take a move. I got to do this. I got to send her or him a text. Send them a text. Do this. Do that. Right? They've had an epiphany. They understand things. Okay. And then finally, we have another Pentacle card, Knight of Pentacles in their heart space. Again, an offer of stability. So they're feeling a warmth towards you. They're feeling a sort of partnership, right? Two aces means partnership, right? So we're having a Knight of Pentacles that energy about bringing in an offer. This crow about to, offer some gold. And I'm pretty sure crows like shit like that, like shiny stuff, right? Isn't that what their crows are known for? So It's sort of about bringing in what they have to you, and they want to do that. They want to share things with you, whether or not that's money or the physical. It's emotions, it's experiences, it's life. They want to share a partnership with you, especially because of those two aces, right? So that's what's going on with their head and their heart space. Let me now move into you guys. I'm going to move these cards up. Hopefully you've got enough information from that. Because I do try to not make these videos too long, because, who the hell's got time to watch 55-minute videos when there's like at least 2,000 Netflix shows you want to watch, right? Alright. So let's get going with the feminine energy. So what's going on with the feminine's headspace? How are they thinking about their masculine? What did they want to say? How do they feel or think? Alright, so Seven of Wands. It's funny that they had the Five of Wands in their headspace. Seven of Wands is about defending yourself, having courage. It's also about defending the relationship. So they even could be defending this relationship to others. People that might be like, you can't, what are you doing waiting for someone? What are you doing involved with someone? What do you mean you love somebody that you're not with? What do you mean all of this information? Defending that, right? You could be in that energy. Could just mean that you're defending your own beliefs, your own systems of belief, your own ideas, your own ideals, your own character, right? Defending what needs to be defended, right? You stand tall and you don't want to let other people sort of, come in and take what you've earned, what you've worked for. So again, you guys are maybe concerned about them coming in and just sort of, ruining something that you've built. But again, as far as like your headspace is concerned, you do want to stand your ground. You do feel a little bit more powerful, I think. I think a lot of you guys are more in your power energy, right? You're more empowered right now. So we do have the Two of Pentacles, which does suggest some sort of maybe insecurity, maybe an imbalance, but it's about juggling. Now, definitely it's about juggling the 3D aspects of your life: money, career, kids, family, love, right? All of that stuff, which might be on your mind as well. How do you let love in when there's so much stuff going on your mind or in your life, right? Which is definitely true. But it also speaks to an idea of not knowing how to proceed with the relationship, right? Being a little bit juggling some aspects of your personality, your confusion, maybe trying to like kind of decide, how can I move forward? How can I do this? How can I connect? How can I let this person in? When there's this person, how can I choose? It's a little bit of a juggling act right now for you guys. And then, of course, we have the Seven of Cups, which makes a lot of sense. So for the masculines, for the feminines, this is you guys now. My bad. I woke up very late today. The Seven of Cups is about opportunities, right? It's about trying to figure out, what is it that I want? Oh my God, so many things. Do I want love? Do I want success? Do I want fame, fortune, wealth, travel? What do I want to do? Do I want to just go be discovering? Do I want to do this career path? What career path will lead to this career path? It's about trying to choose which opportunity you guys truly want to follow, and maybe if you choose one, it leads to the other, and it's about choosing the right opportunity now that will lead you to eventually get the other opportunities, because you let one opportunity come, it'll come back around. But it does speak to some confusion, which makes sense, because I was sort of speaking about that with the Two of Pentacles. So as far as your mental energy is concerned, you might be, as feminines, kind of concerned about the future of the relationship, right? That kind of theme is coming in very strong, and that's why you're standing tall, because you've worked very hard for your current position, right? So let me get a look at your heart space, though. We'll see how you're feeling towards your masculine. Okay, you do have the Eight of Wands, which is a very great card to get, especially in the heart space. Passion definitely is the Wands card, but also about communication, love. You have the sunflowers, right? This joy, innocence, right? You guys are definitely feeling that communication, feeling that love. You want the communication, you want the relationship. Obviously, deep down, you want to be involved with them. And you might want things to be picking up. You might be unsure of how things are going to go. We have another wand card with the Three of Wands. This is about looking in, waiting for the things that you've been wanting to come in. It's about action and adventure. Again, taking that leap, right? This crow looks like it could fly off into the distance towards that star, which represents hope. So you guys do have hope. The Three of Wands is kind of like that action card where it's like, you've booked your plane ticket and you're just waiting for everything to come, right? You're just waiting for that adventure to begin, which makes sense because you guys did have the Fool card, right? So you guys are like definitely wanting this relationship, wanting it to begin, waiting for it to begin. In fact, it might be very, very close. In fact, you might be feeling very, very close. In fact, a lot of you guys might have had communication from your twin in the last couple months or so, right? And 2020 is a year of union in all areas of your life for a lot of people on this journey. And so you guys are basically expecting something. But the Three of Wands, of course, isn't as fast-paced as the Eight of Wands, but it is suggestive that the things that you want, the person that you want, is coming. And wow, look at this. We have the Sun card, another huge sort of representative of a sunflower here, right? Again, innocence, joy, this horse, pure, a white horse, this innocence, this purity, this love. The Sun card is a great card to get, especially for love inside the heart space, because it's about feeling childlike. Again, going back to what I was talking about at the beginning of the reading with the Queen and Six of Cups, about essentially being in an energy of childlike wonder and joy, looking at everything as pure and beauty again. It's about letting go of any hate inside of your heart. So inside your heart, I feel a lot of you guys have loved yourself more, are appreciative and more grateful of the lessons and the opportunities and the future. The future looks very bright for you guys, but mentally you guys might be fatigued and just kind of wondering about where the relationship is going to head. But the heart and the mental space don't match up here, right? They are they are sort of conflicted a bit, especially with that Seven of Cups. But I think that you guys know that if you follow your heart, if you do what you know that you're supposed to do, everything will be fine. And you guys, again, do feel a very strong connection to your divine masculine, to your twin flame, to the connection, to the relationship, to this ideal, to your own awakening process. And things are looking like they are going to be. If you're not feeling better now, you will be, because the Sun energy is a major arcana and a major, major arcana, because it's a very, very positive card to get. And I think along with the World card that you guys had in your energy, one of the best cards you can get. And the Eight of Wands is a great card to get as well. So that's really awesome for both really parties. You guys are heading in a very, very positive direction for both of you guys. And not only your own life, not only your career and your business, but also your love life and your feelings and your growth, your spiritual awakening journey, right? And yeah, there's some standing ground. Yeah, there's some defeat. Yeah, there's maybe some arguments that have to happen. There's some worries and stuff like that. But nothing triumphs in the face of love, which always triumphs at the end of the day, right? Unless you're Lex Luthor, in which case you're pretty much fucked. Okay, guys, let me now do an outcome. Okay, I'm going to do 5 cards. We'll see what the future outcome of you guys is. We'll take a look at the near future, but, obviously this is for the last week of January, but let's just assume that when people say that time isn't linear, they probably know what they're talking about, because it isn't. So keep that in mind, keep an open mind, relax into the now moment, and allow these events to unfold in your life as best they can. And again, this is a general reading. If you want a personal reading, all of my ridiculous services will be in the description box. So let's take a look. What is going to be the outcome for this couple? Wow, 3 of Cups, guys. 3 of Cups is all about celebration, joy, rejoice, something happening. These 3 birds here drinking from each of their cups, meaning that everybody's happy. It's a time of celebration. So there is a conclusion to everything. To this whole friggin' reading I just did, there's a conclusion to this. There's a love. There's a successful joy to this. There is something to believe in. There is a rejoiceful time ahead. So there is some time for celebration. There is going to be some love, right? We have the Page of Cups, so love messages, right? You guys might be exchanging a lot of text, emails. You guys have the Eight of Wands in your heart space, so things are picking up really fast for you guys, I feel. In fact, even in your headspace, it seemed more to do with your finances, where you're going to go in life mentally, rather than even the connection, really. Because in your heart space, you definitely feel that love. So there is messages coming in. There is that sort of page coming in, like, here, like, I have this message for you. I have this thing. Would you like it? Would you like this thing? And of course you do, because it's the 3 of Cups and it's what you've been wanting, right? So this is going to be whatever comes in with this love is going to be really, really great. You guys are going to be feeling very, very happy, very connected to each other, very much living in the moment, more of that childlike energy. The Page of Cups, not as fast as the Knight, not as secure as the King. The Page of Cups sometimes will generally suggest, I guess, that you might be hearing messages about your twin from somebody else. You might hear that, like, oh, so-and-so, did you know so-and-so broke up? Did you know this? Or it could be something like, you might just be learning more things about them, feeling more connection, getting signs from the universe, like little messages like that, even like, oh, like, is this my person? You ask the universe, like, let me see X, Y, and Z, if this is, if I can trust this feeling, if this is coming in, like, give me some information about my twin, and then, like, you get a message in from the universe that's so clear that you have no choice but to feel rejoiced, right? Moving forward, though. Okay. Moving forward, we do have the Nine of Wands. So this is about letting down your guard, okay? Because again, a lot of you have, in the relationship itself, of course, have been guarded because of all the lessons and the hardships that you've even gone through in your own life, separate from the journey itself, right? So it is saying that there is a need to stand tall. There is a need to stand into truth. There is a need to keep going and persevering, though, because if I read these cards from left to right as a sort of story, but this could be an energy that happens before this one. Again, it's a general reading, but the idea here is that the Nine of Wands is like, keep going, keep persevering. You're almost done. That you're almost complete. There's something to keep going, but it also speaks to about the fact that no relationship is perfect, guys. It might start off like really, really good, but honeymoon phases do end, and when the honeymoon phase ends, it's up to you to keep up a responsibility of essentially creating new honeymoon phases. You know what I mean? Like, a relationship works as much energy as you give into it, as both people give into it. So this card is saying, like, if you guys want this relationship to succeed, persevere through the obstacles and the difficulties. Have some empathy. You know what I mean? Keep that empathetic side up. Keep putting yourself in each other's shoes and in other people's shoes. Continue to be grateful for what you have, right? And now we have the King of Cups completing that Queen of Cups. King of Cups, very stable relationship, stable emotions all around for both of you guys. Probably in this case might refer to your divine masculine in this partnership, but it is about that heavy emotional energy, not heavy in a depressing way, but heavy in a way that allows you to understand the beauty within your own soul and your heart and the emotions. So the emotions are going to be free in this relationship. It's going to be free to express yourself. It's going to be okay to express yourself. And now finally we have the Ace of Wands, which is all about sex, all about getting dick down. Is that a polite way to put it? I don't know. I don't care. But the Ace of Wands is a new beginning. It's about moving forward. Now we have 3 aces in this reading, which is crazy to me that all those aces came out. Because the Ace of Wands is passion, it's about fire, it's about energy, it's about enterprise, it's about travel, it's about moving, it's about, like me, moving to a new city, right? That's exactly what's happening. Skyscrapers in the background, moving forward, it's like, yeah, this is that new journey, this is that new beginning, this is everything that I wanted. Everything is coming in. And the Nine of Wands, guys, is just there to say, keep going right now, keep going, keep persevering, and the relationship, keep going. There's going to be obstacles, there's going to be challenges. Like, you guys might forget that, you guys come together, but it's not like there's not going to be other temptations, other lessons, other things. It's, twin flame relationships are just, they're going to have similar things that other relationships go through, right? The connection is more unique and a little bit and deeper, of course, but ultimately relationships in this human experience are all going to follow a similar type of lesson learning obstacle, because it brings you guys actually closer together. And the more that you can overcome things together, the stronger your bond becomes, and the stronger your bond becomes, the stronger that you guys feel towards each other, and of course the stronger that you guys feel towards each other, the more love that there is to give towards yourself and them and to the whole world and to the collective, to help ascend this human collective. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but humanity's getting fucked right now. I'm pretty sure the entire country of Australia is literally going through a testing ground for the apocalypse, which is insane. So keep all that shit in mind, guys, but everything's looking really, really bright, and that's really positive. Okay, guys, so I'm back doing readings. If you guys want it, let me know. If you don't, just leave. If you don't, whatever, I guess. But I'm here, guys, and I'm going to start offering to teach people how to do tarot, because it's a great way to help other people, bring people into clarity. So if that's something you're interested in, it'd be cool to check that out as well, because I'm actually starting to get into I want to do like a lot of other stuff as well, but I won't self-promote for too long. So all that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading, and I will talk to you guys in my next video, alright? Alright, guys, enjoy your day.